Hello, welcome to American History 2 Online, and I'm your instructor, Anthony Dunn. I'm looking forward to being your mentor this semester and working with you as we explore themes in modern American history. So there's a large scope to this course, whether it be from themes in Reconstruction, the post-Civil War era, to the rise of industrialization or the rise of a consumer society in the 1920s, the Great Depression, World War II, civil rights, modern themes of us becoming a world power. So this is a broad course, right? There's a lot of not only information to address, uh, and a lot of themes that are just relevant to our current lives. So the good news, though, is that while that does sound like an ominous type amount of information to address, we could be in World Civilization 1, where the course looks at those types of themes, but from the beginning of man to 1500 AD for the entire world. So while we have a large and ambitious topic, what we're going to do is try to make it manageable and also a valuable experience for you. And to do that, what I'd like to do is just take a moment to talk about the course learning objectives and what we're ultimately trying to achieve this semester. There are three categories of learning objectives that we are going to be focusing all assignments, all activities, and building the entire course and learning experience to helping achieve or strengthen. The first of these categories is just historical knowledge, and that is students will need to be able to identify key themes in American history, to demonstrate an ability to articulate and outline fundamental social, religious, and political, cultural, and or economic concepts that are foundational to understanding these key themes. So at the end of the semester, I hope that students have developed a better, a stronger ability and a wider understanding of key concepts that are important in the development of modern America and relevant to our lives. But more importantly than just understanding or getting to know more information is learning how to engage in that information in a more valuable and meaningful way. So one of the more important course learning objectives for this class has to do with historical comprehension and analysis. And that is, students will need to be throughout the semester developing, that is, sharpening their ability to identify and articulate causal relationships between historical events in the context of those key themes of modern America. So not only do we need to be able to identify key themes in America's 20th century history, we need to be able to understand the causal factors that shape those events and also relate to the legacy of those events and how they relate to our current lives. So we'll be focusing on our ability to comprehend these topics and to analyze this historical material and trying to find added value. Students will also be asked to distinguish competing historical interpretations of the past and in periods of modern America. So we see the meaning of past events and the causal factors that created those circumstances and the legacy differently as time goes on. These are fluid in the historical mind, and that is what we will be doing, is trying to see how people who are looking at these events also over time start to change their interpretations or evolve and add to those interpretations. So that's going to be another course learning objective. Students will also need to be able to define, distinguish, and categorize primary and secondary historical sources. A critical component of this course, students will be asked to engage with historical data, and we need to start thinking about these sources and how we should interact with them and how the value of those sources is often shaped by the type of source they are, and the goals of those sources. Students, though, most importantly, we will be focusing on the student's ability to not only demonstrate, but to enhance their historical literacy. And historical literacy is a topic that you will be exposed to in the first module. But the key to this course is, how do we look at the past? How do we engage with historical data to find meaning, value, and relevance to our lives? And that is, the entire process and study of history is surrounding the concept that we do it because it's relevant to us. It may help us better understand the society we live in. It may better help us identify aspects of our society that we like, or the origins of things that we dislike. But ultimately, studying history is a process and a practice, not just the affirmation or recognition of information. So this all culminates in the final learning objective, which is historical synthesis and analysis. Throughout the semester, students will be asked to demonstrate an ability to use historical sources to formulate historical questions, synthesize historical data, and create historical interpretations in written argument. So, if we look at these learning objectives, what I think you'll see is that we're focusing on, in this course, the development of a skill set. And in American history is the Play-Doh, or the building blocks, or the tools we have to work on that skill set. And that is, we're going to be looking at themes in American history. We're going to be trying to develop your ability to engage in historical information related to those themes. And then most importantly, we're going to be working on developing your ability to engage in a meaningful way and to create historical interpretations of your own that focus on the meaning, the value, and relevance of the historical process.